Hi everyone, my name is Thunby,
And my name is Sharon.
and we're the founders of Busi-Aid. Here at Busi-Aid, we want to make the experience of pursuing business as easy as possible, which is why we are giving you all of this information to do that. This is our podcast, and we hope you enjoy. Let's get into the episode. Welcome to the first episode of our podcast. Today's guest is Kareena, and I'm just going to let her introduce a little bit about herself.
Great. So hi everyone. I'm Kareena. I'm in Queen's Commerce. I'm going to be graduating in 2027 and I just got in this year. I'm very excited to be here on their podcast to kind of just talk about myself, my university, and what's gone on throughout the last few months.
Okay, so how is university going and what's some of your favorite moments so far?
Yes, university is going really, really good so far. I'm enjoying it
Mm-hmm.
a lot. I'm really definitely enjoying like the program and the classes. You get to take four like standardized business classes. We get to take economics, accounting, intro to commerce, as well as a math class.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely get to learn a lot about like how business is applicable to real life, which is really interesting. As for the university in general, I really love living on my residence. Our building is very social, and I've been able to make some really, really great friends through the program and just in and around my building. So that's definitely some of my like favorite moments so far.
Thank you. So our one of our first questions are, what university did you get into, and out of all of them, why did you choose QCOM?
Yeah, so I applied to kind of all of the standard uh, like best universities for business in Ontario that one would apply to. I applied to Laurier for BBA. I applied to U of T for Rotman, Western Ivy, Queen's Commerce. I applied. Yeah, I think yeah, as well as McMaster Business. So I think about five, maybe a sixth program, but kind of just like your general like typical Canadian or Ontario business universities for business. So yeah, those were the ones that I applied to, and I decided on Queen's Commerce because it kind of encompassed everything that I wanted in a university program. In terms of like the actual school aspect, I really like the structure of it, how it was like 4 years, you get a generalized business degree and you're able to learn about all the sectors of business, whether that be accounting, finance, econ, whatever you're interested in. You get 4 years to kind of explore. So you get to really figure out what it is that you like. And then in your third and fourth year, you can start taking more electives that are geared towards what you want to do in the future. Um, as for the social aspect, I personally am a very like extroverted and social person, so I wanted to go somewhere where like the
Yeah.
social life was kind of nice, and just somewhere that I could go and like meet really great people who are like extroverted, like-minded, just like me. So yeah, that's why I chose Queens for commerce.
Okay. So, what did you do to get in? Like, what really pushed you over the edge over the other applicants in QCOM?
So for me, I think what was really important is that I had a lot of leadership experience coming into the program,
Okay.
as do a lot of people in this program. Um, because like I was president of DECA over or during high school. I was on my school's or on student council at our school, which was another like really great thing that they look for in Queen's applicants, as well as having just like outside volunteer experience, outside kind of more extracurricular experience, maybe even having a little bit of work experience is really important. And it doesn't have to be the most prestigious job or anything like that, but as long as you gain some like real life transferable skills, that's definitely what they're looking for, combined with your leadership experience. And just having made some sort of impact on something that you've done throughout your high school career, whether that be through your school student council, through DECA, through volunteering, through extracurriculars. I think they're just looking for leaders who are like well-rounded all around and just are willing to learn and have contributed a lot to their community.
So, do you think that high school students should focus on extracurricular or academics more?
I think they should definitely focus on both. For me, it was definitely
Mm,
academics first, then extracurriculars. But like by the time I'd reached like grade 11 and 12, I'd kind of just figured out like gotten the hang of school, just like gotten a better grasp on school. So it became a little bit easier in that sense. And then I focused a lot more of my time and energy on my extracurriculars. so that I could try to do my best in that so that my applications came out well. But I think it's very important to make sure you have a good balance of both in your university applications, but always school's gonna come first.
Okay, thank you.
So, what benefits did you look for in universities? Like when you're applying, what kind of put other universities over each other?
Yeah, so I definitely weighed like both. I it was mainly the academic aspect. I was really just looking for more of a generalized business degree. I didn't want to be forced to choose what sector I wanted to go into like earlier into my university career. I wanted to be able to like have time to explore different subjects, which I'm doing right now. I'm still not sure exactly what it is that I want to go into, and not a lot of people do. Just having that ability to go into a more general program that allows you to stay for 4 years was definitely something that I looked for. Also, another thing that I looked for was exchange. I really wanted to do like some form of like semester abroad or be able to study internationally, which Queens does offer. So yeah, it was mainly just exchange, the academics, as well as Queens has really great extracurriculars. So I made sure to look into like the clubs that the school offered. That was really important. And also, like I mentioned before, like socially, Queens is everyone's very friendly. It's a really nice environment if you're looking to go and meet people, which is something that was very important to me. So that's what I looked for in certain schools over others.
Did you shy away from anything? Oh, sorry, but did you shy away from anything? Like, was anything a big turnoff in terms of universities?
Um, I don't think I think it was honestly just being able to have that like general kind of aspect. Like that's why I was looking more at Queens for commerce because for your general degree, if you look at Laurier for BBA, it's the same thing for your general degree. Same with like Rotman for commerce. But I know there's other schools like Western Ivy, and you have to like upkeep a certain average and you go into something different in your first 2 years and then you're admitted to the business school. And that wasn't my favorite because I wanted to study like business for 4 full years as opposed to doing a separate program for 2 years and then switching into another program later. So kind of just having that like general aspect and being able to explore all the different areas of business is something that I was looking for. I don't think there was any major like turnoffs in any university. But yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, the general aspect was really important to me.
What was the application process like for you?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they've changed it like a lot this year, but I know for me, um, we were just asked to complete like one essay. So they gave you a question, like a prompt, kind of just it was a prompt, and for mine, I think it was like, have you witnessed something unjust? Like talk about a time that you witnessed something unjust. What did you do? And everyone's prompts I know follow kind of like a similar structure, like talk about a time when this happened. How did you recover? How did you overcome it? What did you learn? And it was just like that sort of structure. Otherwise, I don't believe there was a second like application question and a video, but I believe for this year, there is a video, but yeah, it varies per year.
Mhm. What would you recommend to current applicants? Like, what advice would you give them when they're applying to a bunch of different schools?
I think it's very easy to get like overwhelmed right now. This is a really, really stressful time for all students applying to university because if you're in business, there are quite a few sub apps that you have to complete. So I think one of the biggest like just some advice that I have to give is just work as hard as you can, do your best to try to not overwhelm yourself. You're going to get through it. Um, as for the actual applications, I would probably say like emphasize any leadership opportunities like you've been given, emphasize that,
Hmm.
and definitely emphasize what it is that you learn from those leadership opportunities because everyone like when you apply to university, they're always looking to see how you grew from an experience. So that's a very important aspect to include, like what it is that you learned. So definitely just combining your leadership experience as well as how you've learned what you've learned from that is something important for step.
How did you manage your time when you were applying? Like, I know you applied to a bunch of different schools. How did you make sure that you weren't getting overwhelmed?
Yeah, so I kind of just created like a schedule with the different deadlines. So for like Queens, I'm pretty sure it was due in February. Ivy, I think was due around relatively the same time. Same with like U of T. So I just made sure to like create a schedule with all the application deadlines and like finished all my homework first, obviously, and then started working on my sub apps and kind of just dedicated a few hours to each of them, making sure that like I spent the most time on the ones that I wanted most. So I wanted Queens the most, so I spent the most time like perfecting it, making like other people proofread it for me, doing that sort of thing. So I'm just prioritizing the ones that were most important to me, as well as creating a schedule really helped me manage my time.
Right.
In terms of your career after Queens, are you preparing anything for that? Or are you doing anything right now?
Yeah, so the really great thing about Queens, or especially Queens Commerce, is that there's a lot of clubs within Queens Commerce. So we have like Commerce Society, and I think there's about 30 or 40 clubs that first years can get involved in. So first years can apply to have like a first year rep or a first year analyst position on these clubs, which is really great because if you're interested in literally any sector of business, you can apply for it. So I'm on a club called, I got the first year representative for a club called Smith Marketing Consulting, which is what it says in the title, like the marketing and as well as a consulting club. But if you're interested in finance, there's clubs like Quick, QPCG, you can look them up. So there's like finance related clubs. Consulting is really big here. There's consulting clubs, marketing clubs, real estate clubs, sales clubs. Literally any sector of business has a club here. So just having that ability to like gain some real life experience. That's what I'm doing right now in SMC. You get working on a couple, like you work on a couple different projects in your first year. You get to meet with like real life consultants and you get to see the upper years work their magic in terms of consulting with clients. So you definitely get some real life experience through that. So that's what I'm doing right now to kind of further like my university experience and get prepared for the real world after university.
So, what experiences have you had in the clubs? Like, how have you like interacted? Like, what have you done in the club so far?
Yeah, so far, so within this club that I'm on, the marketing consulting club, there is an internal rotation and an external rotation. So I'm doing the internal rotation right now. So in terms of the internal rotation, you're kind of just working within the club. Just working right now, I'm working in the marketing section. So I'm kind of just working on how like our club's gonna market to the school community and that sort of thing. But in a few weeks, I get put on the business development project. So in that project, you're gonna be like talking to actual like real life like clients and pitching like the project that you've been working on over the past few weeks to that client. And then next semester I get moved on to the external rotation, which is just more like once again like working externally with the client that we have in the consulting club. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I'm doing so far, and it's been really interesting just to like get to know the upper years is always really important, and it's really nice to
Mm.
meet them and kind of just learn from them, because they definitely have like there's a lot to learn from them, as well as like getting that real life type of experience is really really interesting.
Yeah, I think that's like super cool because you get like even within like a very specialized club, you get to do a bunch of different things, which I think is super important.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely important. And like just the fact that like we're like me and the other like first year analysts, it's not like we do much on the club because they don't trust first years with too much
Yeah.
responsibility. But just being able to like see the operations, kind of just like see how they handle like tasks, how they the way that they think is a little bit different in terms of like the consulting angle and marketing angle of things, like the way that in terms and the way that they think is a little bit different. So just having that like ability to like that privilege to attend these meetings is really, really important. And I think anyone coming to this program should definitely try and take advantage of the clubs.
Okay. So, do you have any tips for people who are looking for a career in business? Like, what would you recommend?
Um, well, I mean, I don't have a career in business
Yeah,
yet.
sorry.
But I think kind of just like making sure you're currently building on like your transferable skills and your leadership experience is definitely really important because like when you get into like these business programs or whatever, you're gonna have to apply kind of the soft skills that you've learned in the past to whatever it is that you're doing. So kind of just working on those transferable skills, working on those soft skills, and just making sure like you're taking every opportunity you can to be a leader is important. Because like you're gonna have to do a lot of work in teams, groups, just kind of like having that like managerial leadership type view on things is really important. So I'd have to say just keep building up your leadership experience as much as you can.
So, what are some of like the biggest challenges you faced in the application process, and what were they about?
Yeah, so I think within the application process, I was just confused about like how exactly to structure my response. Um, I know like that was really tricky for me. So what I did is I brainstormed a couple different ideas for my prompt, and mine was talk about a time that you witnessed something unjust. So I came up with like a couple of stories, one in which like I witnessed something unjust, and I kind of decided which would be the most like applicable. There's a lot of templates online for answering these questions, like specific to Queen's Commerce, specific to Western Ivy. So I went and I looked at like the Queen's Commerce templates, and they literally walk you through like how to write out your whole application, which is really
Mhm.
really good resource. And it was really important to emphasize what it is that I learned and what it is that I did after I encountered like that experience. So kind of just like writing out my application was really, really tricky, but having like those resources, like just doing research on where you're applying to kind of figure out what it is that they're looking for is super important. So I have to say, just like make sure you use your resources. And yeah, you should be good.
Okay. Do you have any final words to say to people who are listening to this?
Yeah, I'd probably just have to say like grade 12 is a really hard year. It's really, really stressful, but it's also a lot of fun and it gets better after you're done applying to university. So make the most of semester two. Don't be too stressed. You'll probably get into the university that you want to get into. And enjoy grade 12. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
I
problem.
like really enjoyed listening to you speak. It's been a while since I've seen you, but yeah,
I
it
know.
sounds like your university experience is going like super well and it's
Hmm.
super fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. I think a lot of people think it's like really scary going in, and it is at first. But now, like, I've kind of gotten into a routine. I have like a nice group of friends. Like I've started to understand how like the school aspect works a little bit more. So just like it's definitely a weird change at the beginning, but once you get into the swing of things, it gets a lot better. And right now there's like more of a routine too. So yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a lot of work because like it is university, but it's a lot of fun. You just got to make the most of it.
You have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, yeah. It though this program like so far we haven't had too many assignments. But it's definitely like picking up, and we have finals coming up in less than a month. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Semesters go by really fast here for sure.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
spending
yeah.
your time here.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime.
Well, good luck on your exams. We really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No, thank you guys for this. It was really nice to come and talk to you guys. And I wish you the best of luck with your tests and exams coming up soon. Yeah, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.